Could you imagine the symbol of the United States of America in the heart of St. Petersburg?
This bird is no other than a bald eagle. You can even discern it's holding an olive branch. It could have been a genuine United States coat of arms of a great seal if it's also held a bundle of arrows. This symbol was placed on the facade of a building commissioned and built by Singer, a United States company known for sewing machines manufacturer. At the end of 19th century, the company management decided to establish a new production facility in Russia. Needless to say that great American manufacturer desired to find a decent-looking office for such.
To build one in the heart of Russian capital would be impressive itself, but how much? Its extraordinary appearance was supposed to be reinforced by its skyscraping apex.
To accomplish this task, they engaged one of the Russia's top architects of the time. Pavel Suzor was the one. He got the wheels turning with enthusiasm. He was also shown Singer's building in New York that was designed by Ernst Flagg. Suzor liked its architecture design, but at that point in time he didn't know that pretty soon it was to be reconstructed with a skyscraper attached to it, which will make it the tallest building in the world up until 1909.
Suzor was shocked when the company dropped a bombshell by announcing its intention to erect a high-rise building in the middle of St. Petersburg.
It's well known that there are none in the capital city. As a matter of fact, the skyline to this day is evenly low-leveled, with no skyscrapers. Even more, there couldn't be any at the beginning of last century. And the reason for this is a special standard put in place in 1844, only allowing building construction heights at least 7 feet below that of the Winter Palace.
At that point, the company made some brassy moves by spreading its symbol all over the facade. They must have thought what a bright idea it would be to nail a gigantic thimble at the top instead of building a tower. And a bunch of sculptured sewing machines framing the front elevation would be just the thing.
Poor fellow Suzor. Although he was able to transform the thimble into a glass dome, which crowns the glass globe and at one time was to have been girded by a Singer inscription, he was forced to add a composition of sculptured sewing machines to the design. If you look close enough at the sculptures, you would notice that 3 of them are holding a spindle in left hands, and on the right hands is true design of any seamstress. The placement of this architectural masterpiece has its own story. A problem arose with the proprietress of a revenue house, placed at the intersection of Nevsky and Griboyedov Canal, who would not let such a tidbit of real estate go for all the world.
But it was easily solved by sending a fortune teller to her, who foretold a terrible fate if she didn't sell the house and move to France. Surprisingly, his prediction may have proven true. If she had stayed in Russia, the Bolsheviks could have deprived her of property. Instead of that, she lived her peaceful days on French Riviera.
I always ask my tourists if something is missing from the building. Some of them guess that it's the drain pipes. Actually, they were built into the wall. It's one of the groundbreaking techniques used by Suzor. There are many other innovations such as iron framing, a covered atrium, and the basement isolation make it invulnerable to the mortal threats of fire and water. Thus, books can safely be stored and sold here, and that's exactly the use of the building today.
And last but not least, are you familiar to Facebook? We have our own social network analog called ВКонтакте.
Its headquarters located in this beautiful building, a true impersonation of St. Petersburg Art Nouveau. And if you are going to visit St. Petersburg, Russia and don't know what to do, ask me. I get the answer.